Today, I am presenting you with a very special video. This video is going to be about the MVP race. Now, there's been a lot of controversy lately, but this is supposed to clear everything up. So, everyone mentioned in this video is a serious candidate, okay? So, shout out Sabonis, Donovan Mitchell, shout out those guys. They didn't make the cut. I mean, I would have loved to put Sabonis here, but he wouldn't make the cut. So, let's just get started. And first, we're going to take a moment of silence for our fallen MVP. Joel Embiid. He was on an absolute tear, and it's a shame. It's just a shame that he got injured because he would have ran away with his MVP. So, before we officially get started, shout out Embiid, and leave a like and subscribe, and let's just get into it. So first, we have Horseman. Yep, Nikola Jokic. Here is pros. He's probably the best player in the world. I would consider him the best player in the world. But, some people like to be different. He has a great record. At the time of this recording, I believe the Nuggets are the 3rd seed. Just so you guys know, the Nuggets and Suns are playing right now. So he could very well be the 1st seed by the time you see this video. He's clearly valuable, obviously, as he is a 2-time winner and almost 3-time winner if Embiid didn't win it last year. And he has the stats. Pretty good stats, basically. Just go look up Jokic stats. But what are the cons? Voter fatigue? I don't really know. It's very hard for a player to win more than 2 MVPs in his career. We could have seen that with Curry, but then Durant joined and took up all his prime years, basically. He probably deserves it, but people get bored, So that's why there's a whole bunch of controversy right now. Now, option number 2, 31-point merchant man, a.k.a. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The pros, he has a great record. The Thunder had the 2nd seed, I believe. He's clearly valuable, as he's the best player on that team. He has the stats. He averages 31 points. He seems to always get to his averages. So, pretty great stats, if you ask me. What are his cons? He's pretty new to the MVP scene. Usually what I notice is that you have to, kind of work your way up, and then people start expecting you to win an MVP or be that caliber of player. I don't think anyone really expected him to be that, especially this year, but that's mostly because the Thunder, we didn't think we were going to be, this crazy good so soon. So maybe that might have a role. And ironically, not enough aura. Usually how MVPs work, we have to see you in the playoffs, make sure you're a bona fide star, and then you start getting MVP buzz. That's what happened with Luka. That's what happened with Jokic in 2019 before his MVPs. We saw Curry was a star in the playoffs before he won his 2 MVPs. So that's typically what happens. Now, option number 3, Luka Magic. I'm a big Luka guy, if you couldn't tell. So, obviously, we got the young GOAT, obviously. The pros, like I said, he's a young GOAT. I'm going to be real, I forgot I put that. He has a lot of aura, okay? Now, we've been expecting this man to win an MVP for a while, but we're going to get into why he hasn't done that yet. And he has by far the best stats I've ever seen. 34 points per game, a near triple-double. Insane averages. And he's clearly valuable. He's the best player on his team. And the team is not... the team's probably a lottery team without him. And he's arguably a top 5 player right now. That's one thing Shai might be missing. He's not... I don't think he's even in the conversation for top 5 player right now. I would say he's top 10. He's pretty clearly in the top 10 range, I think. And the cons? Yeah, his team is not good. He's in the play-in team. You cannot win MVP if you're in the play-in. Because what do you know like how awkward it would be going up there to receive an MVP after you were like the 7th or 8th seed and you got bounced out the playoffs because I don't know, the other team had a hot shooting night? Yeah, for that reason, Luka's not in this range right now. He clearly has the best stats. The only thing holding him back is the team seeding. And option for Jason Tatum. Now the pros. He's the best player on the best team in the league. That's about it. The cons. When I say, okay, I put no stats. But when I say no stats, I mean compared to the rest of the competition, okay? He's not having any eye-popping stats. 27 points per game is not that impressive. It's impressive, okay? But it's not that impressive anymore when a guy's averaging 34, Shea's are averaging 31. Another candidate we're talking about is averaging 30. His average points per game is like close to De'Aaron Fox, basically. He doesn't have as much value as the others. Now, that is because of how stacked his team is. And Celtic fans aren't going to like hearing this at all. Anyways, there's just way better candidates. Now, are these players better than him? Yeah, probably. But it's not... the way his team is built, he's not built to have an MVP season, basically. And I don't know what's hard to understand about that. So, run and dunk man, obviously, the last option. These are the top 5 candidates. We got Giannis Antetokounmpo. Pros, top 2 player in the league, probably. I'd put him at number 2, maybe even number 1, depending on how I'm feeling that day. He has a good seeding, top 3 seed basically, and the Bucks have been rolling. He's got actually like crazy stats. Yeah, I've gotten so used to it, I didn't realize how good of a year he's having. I didn't even know he was averaging 30. That's crazy to me. He's clearly valuable, best player on his team. He does have some things holding him back though. And that is that his team is seen as a disappointment. It's basically the only thing holding him back. We were projecting this team to win like 60 games or something. I don't know what they're projected to win right now, but it's probably not 60 games. It's a good team, but since it's seen as disappointing, we're not going to look there for an MVP. So before the last slide, I just want to reiterate some things. We're going to go back a bit. I'll give more in detail about how likely I think they're going to win the MVP. We got Horseman. I think he's actually going to win the MVP probably. He's probably my number 1 option right now. He's just been having a great year. 31-point merchant. I think now is too soon. Probably next year is his MVP year. But if he does get the 1 seed in the West, I think that I think he's got it. If you between him and Jokic, whoever has a higher seed, they probably got it. Luka, if is a big if, okay. If his team gets to like the 5th seed, maybe the 6th seed, then I'm all in on Luka MVP. I mean, he's my MVP at heart. But, we're talking about the NBA's MVP. Jason Tatum, I think under no circumstances should win this MVP. This is the same thing as, like, Devin Booker a few years ago, basically. Ooh, I went too far. 2 years ago, when the Suns had that crazy record, and he was just, like, the best player on that team, and people just started forcing his name in the conversation. Like, Jason Tatum belongs in the conversation. And only if that conversation is, hey, should Jason Tatum win the MVP? Probably not. And then you keep arguing about the MVP. That's the only way. Good player still. Nothing against him. Run and dunk man, I would love to see him win his 3rd MVP. But I really do think that the media sees his team as a disappointment. So I think that's why he's not going to get it. Also, his stats are great. But I don't know. So basically, if you want stats, then go Luka. If you want team record, you're a weirdo for some reason. I don't know. But if you want a mixture of everything, it's probably Jokic or Shea. Unless Luka could up it again. I'll update this when the season ends, along with my total award predictions. And yeah. So, like and subscribe. Comment down below. Who's your guys' MVP? I would love to hear from you guys. And let me know if you disagree. You could try to change my mind. Probably won't work. But yeah, that's about it. So like and subscribe to see more content, and I'll see you all next time.